Did you know travel is an $8 trillion industry? Vacation travel is a force for good. Did you know that 29 million passengers sailed in 2019? And during COVID, over 350,000 passengers safely sailed in 2020 on a cruise vacation before vaccinations? Imagine how in the world could a cruise membership-based club grow during the worst year on record for travel? And in this video, CEO Michael Hutchison tells you how. Michael was recently asked to share his team's best practices with CEOs from the direct-to-consumer industry and to give them key takeaways that would help them prosper and grow their teams. In this video, you will hear Michael share his relatable, personal and professional background stories and what inCruises specifically did to adapt and grow during the worst year in travel history. You will hear him tell your story, and it's a fantastic story he loves to tell. Enjoy.
I'm honored to share some of our team's best practices. I will briefly give you my background, our company story, and share key takeaways to help your teams grow and prosper. The one thing I want you to receive is that being with you is an example of our company's walk with destiny. We are blessed to have found our purpose, that unique place in life where innate abilities, passion, experience, reaping what has been faithfully sown, and wisdom purified by fiery trials have gorgeously converged. Here's my quick personal story. Come take a walk with me. I was fortunate to grow up in a close-knit, loving family. I grew up with 3 brothers. Our dad served in the military for 30 years. Our dad served 2 terms in the Vietnam War. My best friend Tom McCarthy, whom I've known since age 13, lost his dad in the Vietnam War. We lost our dad last year to a different kind of battle, cancer. My dad was a 3-time cancer survivor and a fighter. And at the end of his life, he found his passion through Kairos, a prison ministry. My mom is also a fighter. Literally, she boxes 3 times a week at age 84 to help manage her Parkinson's disease. My parents were married 62 years. Incredible. Their devotion and love for each other is the most successful role model I've been around. And while we lived around the world, we spent the most time growing up near Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Like many sons, I wanted to be my dad, a peaceful and diplomatic leader. Perhaps like many of you, I had challenges growing up. I had standardized testing issues. I can't type, and to this day I'm a 2-finger wonder typer. I was and am today an introvert. But you know what? I didn't care that I had reading comprehension and standardized testing issues. I didn't care that my entrance exams weren't good enough to get in. Since the age of 19, I've always wanted to be a diplomat, an ambassador, a positive and peaceful force for good and to help others. I wanted to bring good people together. I graduated from Georgetown University, known for its focus on international studies and foreign service. Here's the background on me professionally. I went to work for Ross Perot's Electronic Data Systems after graduating. A few years later, my best friend Tom recruited me to join him in launching Tony Robbins business seminars. My first exposure to direct selling was when I was with Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn back in the mid-80s. This time, 29 years ago, I co-created Mastery University with Tony Robbins. I am eternally grateful that Tony empowered me to be an entrepreneur within his company. And like many of you, I've always viewed the direct-to-consumer industry as a leadership development and training company wrapped around a product. Tony and Jim were stepping stones to helping others and improving lives. And after I left Tony Robbins' company in the mid-90s, I was an advisor to the People's Network founders. At TPN, I was too smart to become a distributor. And my time with Tony and TPN convinced me that I wanted to run my own direct sales business. The challenge I had was finding a simple product that I was passionate about and putting my name and reputation behind. Eventually, I started my own company called To Infinity, My idea was to create a credit card that paid you back for every purchase you made and rewarded you with a tiered commission override for everyone you referred. I worked tirelessly for months, and we had everything in place to blast off. We had one last hurdle to overcome, and that was to convince the banks to allow a monthly maintenance fee as a recurring revenue stream. The business never launched. I took a big hit. While incubating to infinity, I met Frank Cadena. I introduced Frank to my friend Kevin Harrington, one of the original sharks on the TV show Shark Tank, to add value. Now, let's fast forward to the spring of 2015. A friend of mine asked me to fly to Dubai and conduct due diligence on a travel technology company. Here's the good news. I ended up loving Dubai, and my colleagues finalized a term sheet agreement. In anticipation of celebrating the deal signing, I flew my oldest son, Mike Jr., to Dubai to attend the Arabian Travel Show. And now the bad news. After the trade show was over, that owner entrepreneur told my investor colleague that he wanted a higher price for his company. My colleague said, "Thank you, but no thank you." And I told him the same. So another financial setback. Ouch is right. On that long flight home from Dubai, I kept asking myself the following: Michael, what are you being set up for? What are you being set up for? The answer? Travel. You see, travel is an $8 trillion industry. Vacation travel is a force for good. Travel contributes 1 out of every 11 jobs globally. Here's what was going on in travel back in 2015. Uber had positively interrupted the transportation industry. Airbnb had positively interrupted overnight accommodations. My idea was to figure out a way to add value and positively disrupt the travel industry. Here's what's exciting. The cruise industry was the fastest growing and most profitable among all travel sectors. The cruise industry had not been interrupted yet. Again, it's essential to note the emotions I was feeling at the time. My last 2 ventures, as I mentioned, were setbacks. I was in pain. My children were living their lives, and I was an empty nester. And because my dad was gone a lot while we were growing up, my biggest fear has always been not being able to spend quality time with those I love the most. I was also frustrated knowing that average families can't afford to go on vacation. I wanted to do something that made vacations a necessity and not a luxury. I wanted to create a movement, an affordable vacation movement. I wanted to bring my family together as many times as possible. But instead of launching a business on my own, I knew I needed to do things differently. I needed an experienced and reliable partner, a partner who shared my values and work ethic, someone who inspired me. That partner was and is Frank Cadena. I called Frank and told him, "Brother, I have an idea that might help us to work together." And he said, well, he was working on a new business idea himself that he wanted to run by me. And so we met for lunch at the Hillstone restaurant in Coral Gables, Florida, and the rest is history. Frank, I want to thank you for your friendship, our partnership, and world-class leadership. I could not have found a better partner if I had searched a million years. Thank you. So we incorporated the business in August 2015. I stepped in as CEO and Mr. Outside, and Frank the role of COO and Mr. Inside. We went to work and over 6 months set up the company for a grand opening in 2016. We agreed on 5 things we would promote as a company from day one. Number 1, we started with heart-centered leadership. Number 2, we would be global. 3, we would be valuable. We wanted to solve a problem that most families experience. Number 4, we would have a tangible product. You see, cruising was a $47 billion industry with tangible consumer demand, with tens of millions of passengers sailing every year, whether we were in business or not. And number 5, we would be simple and innovative. I am proud to say that we are the world's largest subscription-based cruise membership club. We are the Netflix of cruises. We're a game changer for the way families plan and save for their vacations. At our core, we're a leadership development company. Like many of you, we help leaders grow as business owners. Here are our compelling metaphors. We're a global energy company. We take people in who are raw and help them to produce courage and positive energy. Like you, we are a transformation academy. Travel is a sexy metaphor to get you out of your comfort zone, to leave the safety of the harbor behind. We challenge our leaders to meet, greet, soak up, and experience new people, languages, ports, and cultures. Here are our big, bold mottos. Number one, we make the world smaller and better by the way we show up every day. Number two, we want our people to start at the top, then work their way up. And number three, we feel that the more you experience, the more you can help others. Here's our mighty mission. We are leading the affordable vacation movement. We make vacations affordable and profitable. The affordable vacation movement is more significant than any of us. Most families go into debt when they vacation. We don't want families to pay for holidays with credit cards or loans. Like you, we give everyone the chance of a better lifestyle without investing a lot of money. Finally, we give people options and choices. The option to uplift others and have a better life, to see the world, to vacation at a price that is unmatched. And what follows are some key takeaways from our short 5-year history. We became a $100 million company in our 4th year. Our 300% year-over-year growth in our first 4 years and continued growth in 2020 through COVID is from having a product that everyone loves. We may be one of the only travel companies that had positive growth in 2020. So how did we profitably grow and pass the COVID stress test? I'm glad you asked. Number one, our growth is 100% organic. I'm grateful that we've not paid a single leader to join our team. We average 6 paying members for every 1 partner that earned a commission over the last 6 months. We have a healthy ratio of customers to distributors. And since I didn't have a direct selling background, and Frank was prevented from doing so, we did not migrate a large team from another company to ours. And like you, we're writing a great love story and love our people for many reasons. They're all self-made. Not one top leader had a profitable business before they joined our team. Like you, we have ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Our team, though, has had disappointments, fears, and confidence issues. They had limiting beliefs and obstacles. They had people telling them that they were nuts. They were crazy dreamers. They had people telling them that promoting a cruise membership club will never work. Are you kidding me? I am so grateful our team went to the next level last year in 2020. Number two, we've had 100% collaboration with leaders on localizing our offer. We never built a local presence. By the way, we have a presence in over 100 countries, hoping and praying people would join. Our website, by the way, is in 17 languages. Number three, our challenge last year was incredible. The media labeled the cruise industry incorrectly as patient zero for COVID. We endured horrible, nasty public relations with ships and borders and passengers not allowed to leave. Our industry paused, and yet most people thought we were completely shut down. But here are the facts. Since July of last year, over 350,000 passengers safely sailed on modified itineraries in Europe and other parts of the world with an enhanced health protocols that worked as intended. One ship alone, the MSC Grandiosa, first welcomed guests back on board in August of last year with feedback with more than 40,000 passengers. Look, even though last year was the worst year on record for travel, at inCruises, we emphasize the following. Hey team, we didn't come this far to only come this far. 2020 was not our finish line. We were determined to build back better. And number four, COVID taught us all these lessons, that everyone has obstacles. COVID also reminded us that change is automatic and progress is a choice. Finally, COVID taught us that the more grace and gratitude we acknowledge, the more grace we experience. And even though our leaders' incentive trip to the Maldives was canceled, we still gave our leaders cash bonuses. We chose abundance, not scarcity. Our team last year chose to write a new book titled SOS, A Survival Guide for Thriving in Turbulent Times. We distributed the book for free, and yes, I'd be happy to send you a copy as a gift. We more than tripled the number of Leadership Academy courses like you. We want each leader to be a lighthouse, to help others to find their spark of light. Like all of you, we switched from live events to virtual. I'm grateful that our Ride the Wave event in October attracted over 70,000 participants who checked in on social media. We also moved our 5-year anniversary celebration to a combination of virtual and live events. Our partners organized over 30 events. We attracted major cruise line executives from MSC, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Costa. We attracted top thought leaders to be our guest speakers, leaders such as Bob Proctor, John Addison, former president of Mexico, Vicente Fox, Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, Latina pop star Paula Rubio, Hall of Fame quarterback with the Miami Dolphins, Dan the Man Marino, Olympian Nadia Comaneci from Romania, the first female leader to earn a perfect 10 in gymnastics. I have strong reason to believe we attracted over 100,000 participants, both on and offline. And as a reminder, the challenge with COVID has nothing to do with your marketing plans and what to blame. The challenge with COVID has everything to do with your beliefs, your innovation, your creativity. Finally, number 5, we mitigated the risk for our members. We've refunded every customer who asked for a refund in 2020 in cash. So no future cruise credits or travel vouchers like many others offers. We also advanced significant monies to the major cruise lines. Finally, we expanded our relationship with Trust My Travel, TMT. We provide consumer protection. We pay the insurance premiums for all membership payments. So in the unlikely event inCruises was to go out of business, our members' dues would be refunded. So here's a recap. Hopefully these bring you value. At inCruises, number 1, we give everyone a level playing field to improve the lives when they join our teams. Number 2, we're transparent. We listen. We collaborate with our leaders on every major decision. Number 3, how can you reinforce with your teams that you're built for adversity and that the more grace you acknowledge, the more grace you experience? Number 4, please remind your teams that your job as a leader is to build more leaders and to protect the hope of your team. And number 5, how can you mitigate the risk for your customers? I pray you and your families are on track to a tremendous comeback forever. Now's the time to be role models of possibility and focus on others so you have a clear sense of purpose. Now's the time to rise up and have a sense of rich confidence and peace of mind. Thank you again for watching and give me the privilege of walking with you and sharing best practices that hopefully contribute to your legacy and your walk with destiny. I'm excited to meet you one day. Until then, I wish you more courage, prosperity, lots of love, and lots of cruise vacations with those that you love and care about the most. So long for now.